Hello and welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. This is the reading for Earth signs for the month of May. Gonna look at what you can expect, what you may be going through for the month of May, Earth signs. So starting off, let's look at the tarot that you got first, and then we'll go to the oracle cards, and then we'll put it all together. All right, and at the end, I will give you your affirmation for the month of May. And I mean, you may be seeing that if you're looking at the picture on this video of your spread already. But we're going to go over the affirmation and kind of how it ties into the reading overall. All right, so first, starting out, you have the Sun, you have the Hermit, and then you have the Queen of Swords. And then again, like I said, we'll get to the bottom row of the oracle cards afterwards. Okay. All right. So starting with the Sun first, right off the bat, I'm getting that a lot of you for the month of May, especially starting out for the month of May, and I know that we're 4 days in, so I'm kind of a little late. We're getting these readings out, but you know, all in divine time is what I like to say. Anyway, so with the Sun, a lot of you will be experiencing joy, happiness, bliss is what I'm hearing in my mind. Especially with the little girl, she just seems like she just filled with glee, like she's just so excited. As well as sunflowers and roses. I actually have some sunflowers that I'm looking at right now that I got from the store a couple of days ago, and they are still in full bloom, if you will. So I'm taking good care of them. But yeah, and funny enough, sunflowers and roses are two of my favorite flowers, and I love to see those two together. So that's interesting. But anyway, that's besides the point, right? But no, I just really I get giddiness. I feel just right now, I'm feeling kind of giddy right now doing this reading. But that's the sense that I get of how a lot of you may be feeling at the start of May. And let's see, what else am I? I'm getting some other things too. Now with the Sun card, I know that it's all about it's about seeing the positive. So some of you could be having a new perspective on things, a new positive outlook on your life or on a certain situation. You know, definitely could be that, especially, and I'm kind of jumping the gun here, where I go to the Jumbi mask. You could have had like, seeing things through false pretenses for a while, but I feel like you're sort of moving past that, and you know you can, or you're seeing that you can have a, think positively about something. There's not really a question about it. However, with the Sun and this young person being on the card, I also hear on the flip side naivete. So even though things seem positive, or are positive rather, not seem but are, even though you have this sense of joy and like happiness and jovialness, if that's a word. I feel like Jumbi mask, the mask card, is sort of like a caution not to actually see things through rose-colored glasses. I'll definitely make sure that, along with the happiness and maybe even a little delulu, as we say nowadays, make sure you have some logic with it too. Make sure you have make sure you're mindful and you use your discernment for certain things. Don't go into things blindly, and don't just accept things for face value. Make sure that you're looking deeper into things. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting with that. The Sun card as well as Junbi Mask. Now, when we go to the Hermit card, right? The Hermit is very much about, sort of like, studying, discipline, I feel, sort of being alone, having alone time. I'm also hearing going back to square one or starting from scratch. I also get laser focus, like you're studying, or whatever it is you're studying or whatever it is you're planning, you're very focused on it. And so coming from the Sun card, it makes me think again about that naivete and, making sure, you see things for what they are, because I feel like even through, joy, happiness, and being excited about a new opportunity or a new perspective on things, there's also a need to, make sure, say for instance, if you're getting a new job or you're starting a new job, you want to be sure that, you've, like say you're going, or before you get the job, and you interview for the job that you're trying to get, making sure that when you do go in for the interview and say, they offer you the position, make sure, that you read all of the details of the job, what it was expected of you. Of course, you're asking those questions, as well as, your salary, if it's, aligns with, what you deserve. You know what I mean? And if it's, if they're matching what, the average salary would be, you know what I'm saying? Considering your skills and what you bring to the table as far as for the job, as well as, what's the average for that type of job in the place or the city that you live, state, whatever. So, just kind of going through, just kind of looking at the fine details of things, will probably be a theme for a lot of you this month. Okay. So yeah. And then we go to Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Every time I see Queen of Swords, it's, to me, is just someone who's very, very strict, very, very concise, disciplined, someone who takes no ish, and that could also be by the end of the month, could be where you all close out this month. At this point, by the end of the month, you are, very blunt in your communication. You have no patience for BS. You want things to be straight up, straightforward. But also with the Queen of Swords and, air, I feel like air is very laid back, but also can be kind of like in your face too. They can be social butterflies, Libra, or, very communicative, Gemini, very cerebral, Aquarius, and all these things I think encompass, it's going to be big, major themes for Earth signs this month. So, and coming from the Hermit card, making sure if there are some things that you may have missed, or, there are some things that, that give you pause about, a certain opportunity, or maybe it's a person coming into your life and you're kind of like, at first, excuse me, you all, very giddy, very, it was lighthearted at first, or, you all were having fun, but now it's, especially if, you're deciding to get into a more serious relationship with someone, or, take things further, now you're sort of like, okay, now it's time to get serious. Now is really time to lay everything out and make sure that we're both on the same page. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. So yeah, think about it that way. So now we're gonna dive into the oracle cards and how they tie in to the tarot. So of course we already went through Jumbi Mask. So now we're gonna go to Mbokomu, I believe that's how you say that. And that's soul forgiveness. So with the Hermit and soul forgiveness, I feel like, again, because I'm getting strongly that for many of you, this could be like a new type of relationship, a new partnership or something. You could be going through, like, it's going back to those rose colored glasses, I feel. And perhaps in the past, earth signs could have dealt with, you're sort of like, if this is a new partnership, right? If this is a new friendship that you're experiencing with the Sun card, I feel like with soul forgiveness, you all are not, especially, and also with the Queen of Swords, you're sort of remembering what all the things that you tolerated maybe in the past relationships and even past friendships. You know what I'm saying? And even if this is, if this is a new career move, or, accepting a new job, whatever, you were like, I get the sense of someone being excited about something, like just excited and, not really paying attention to the fine details and getting deep into it at first. But then they're like, that clarity sort of knocks, steps in it, and it's like the Queen of Swords is like, hold up, hold on, well, let's pause for a second, let's take a step back for a second. And a lot of you may have had to really work through some things where, you tolerated certain things in your past relationships, past partnerships, friendships, and, you don't want to go into that, going forward. You're more so, you, like with the Hermit, you sort of, went through all the motions, I guess, went through all the, the struggles, the, sort of remembering what it is you don't want, if that makes sense. Now you're with the soul forgiveness, you're like, okay, now I know what I want. Now I know what I'm looking for in a friendship, in a partnership, so on and so forth. And with soul forgiveness, you've forgiven that part of yourself in the past that accepted whatever and was just happy, excited, about accepting whatever. You know what I mean? You're worth a little bit more now. And so now it's like, okay, I feel freer. I feel better about, going into something or, accepting a position, accepting a friendship or whatever, or building those relationships. So that's what I feel with the soul forgiveness card. It's not necessarily, it's not necessarily like having to forgive someone. It's more, to me, this card is more so in this position with the Hermit. It's more so like, you've analyzed a lot. You've done a lot of thinking and analyzing, past situations. And now, it's safe with the Sun card, to be open to things because you've given yourself that opportunity to really look deep into things, if that makes sense. Okay. And so then we go to Mama Dijumbo. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And the card is shine. So yeah, like even going forward with this, I just feel like you're in a place where you feel safe, you feel free to shine, you feel safe and free to put yourself out there, to be seen, to be heard. Putting your best foot forward. You have, that you're clear on your why for doing certain things, and you're clear on who it is you are. You're not afraid to let yourself be free, and carefree, and you're just, you're just open. You're open to everything, any and everything. And because I feel like, excuse me, you all know what it is that you want. So now there's no confusion about anything. So for the month of May, and sorry if you can hear background noise, but there's no second guessing yourself. You're very clear on what it is that you want, and it's you have the tools, you've done the work, where where you're landing. Okay? And so for your affirmation for the month of May, it is, I live in and work in a safe, comfortable, and abundant environment. And it aligns exactly with what came out with these cards for me. I just feel like, you are, the earth signs are very much in tune, again, with whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, whatever it is they want. They're not taking any BS, like I said, with the Queen of Swords. You're going, if this is opportunities or situations that have not transpired yet, and they have yet to happen, then again, you're clear on what it is that you're going after. You're clear on what it is that you want. And so, it's not going to be hard for you to, manifest those things that you're wanting if they haven't happened yet, if that makes sense. All right. So hopefully these messages helped. Hopefully they made sense and they resonated. Look forward to the June readings coming out, and I will see you later. Have a good night.